So I've been working on matching up my tins to the artwork so that I can start developing a color palette. So I'm thinking that the red and polka dot motif that I have going on this one is going to work well for this drawing. And the kind of scuffed up green is going to be great for this one. And I can make blue work for this one. Red is slightly outside of the palette that I think is ideal for this, but the tin is going to be open so that red is only going to show a tiny little bit. I think I can tone it with some scuffing and some paint. And then there's this one. It's burgundy, but really this is going to be blue. If I had this one set up to do an open tin, it would be pretty perfect, but I don't. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Either swap out this one for this one and set this one up to be open and find another one for this, or take the finish off of this completely and paint it blue. So I have some thinking to do, but now at least I can start developing some palettes for these other ones that are ready to paint. I've been working on getting the right tin with the right image, and I think I've just about got it, although I do keep switching back and forth between these two. I swapped out some tins that I have in my stash for some of the ones I had pulled out earlier. So now this blue tin is going to be the mermaid, which seemed like an obvious switch. I try really hard not to use the flat tins for the ones that are going to be hanging and open, because it seems like such a waste of a flat surface when I could just as well use one of these. But the color works so well that I went ahead and did it. This red one is going to go with this sort of Dia de los Muertos one. This scuffed up green one is going to be Frida. And these two, I think, I don't know. I keep switching them back and forth. I don't know. I'll figure it out. So what I really wanted to talk about today is color and how I'm choosing colors for these based on both the artwork and the tins that I've chosen. So I'm going to start with the mermaid. This one's really a simple color palette. Blue for the background and also for most of her body, and a little bit of yellow ochre-y, pale yellow for her hair. And I'm probably going to put in another blue as yet unnamed to do shadowing and skin tones and a little bit of shadowing in the water. But overall, this is going to be a very simple palette. Frida, I chose these three colors. And this is obviously a green that matches the tin that I'm going to use around the edges of the image. And also probably I'll come in and use it as her shawl. And then this bright green for the rest of the background. And pink for the dahlias and the ribbons in her hair. And then most of the rest of this is black or is going to remain white. And I also need to bring in a color to shade her skin tones. Might be a brown, might be like a yellow ochre, might be something else. I'm still working at that. And then this one, very simple. A deep red to connect with the tin for the background, and orange red for the flowers, and the rest of this is going to be black. Her hair is going to be black. Probably I'll use the same orangey red that I chose for the flowers to do her bodice. And then I need a shadow color for her. So I'm getting close to having colors picked out for all of this. And a lot of it is keying off of the color that is in the tin, but also the right colors for the image. So for me, this color came first because these are poppies, and that's pretty much the color of the poppies I have in my head. You know, this one, this blue because it matched the tin, but also because it's a great blue to use for an underwater scene. So as I'm developing these color palettes and choosing my paints, I'm also sort of making decisions about how this is going to look, and also what the theme of the finished tin is going to be. So I really can't choose a crazy bright color palette like this and then do a tin that on the inside is sort of vintagey and neutral and filled with natural things. So I have to think about whether that's going to work for me. What is the inside of this going to be, given that the artwork on the outside is this brightly colored? So I might want to go in and adjust those colors so that the outside of my tin works with the inside of my tin. And I think I'm starting to head toward talking about telling a story, which I think is a completely separate video and something I want to talk about once I get all of this artwork finished.